We've got a new flashback. Good. I've done something good. Hello. This is Atris, almost. This might be one of the player character heads. She's got unique clothes too. Of course, it's the Dantooine temple. Telana, we have sparred with one another since we were children. Something is troubling you. I can see it in your form.
It's nothing. Forget about it.
You're still angry over my decision to attend the coming revanchist rally, aren't you? It's my decision, Telana, no matter what my master says.
You shouldn't just dismiss his warnings like that. My uncle means well for you, even though sometimes he may not express it as openly as you would like.
This is good, this is good. I do not doubt that he cares for me, Telana. I just fail to see how he believes that keeping out of Republic's war with the Mandalorians is the best course of action for we Jedi to take. For us Jedi, maybe.
What my uncle believes also happens to be what the rest of the Jedi Order believes. War brings out the worst in people. Jedi.
We should not let the failures of the past endanger our prospects for a safer and more secure future. The Great Sith War was a long time ago, Telana. Its mistakes will not be repeated here.
How can you know that? The Jedi chose to embrace war, and it nearly resulted in our destruction.
Fighting a war against Exar Khan and the Sith is one thing. Fighting a war against the Mandalorians is something else.
I see your point, but do not think I'm willing to concede just yet.
When we were children, we were taught that as Jedi it is our duty to defend the weak from tyranny and oppression. Out in the Rim, people are dying on a daily basis. We are the Jedi who have sworn to defend them. They are here, quarreling and bickering amongst one another over what should have been obvious from the beginning.
The Jedi Council is wise. They would not have taken this stance of inaction unless they had a very good reason to do so. We must place our faith in their wisdom.
If that is true, then the Jedi Council will have the wisdom to see that the Republic needs the Jedi now more than ever.
It is a dangerous line of thought that you are pursuing. The Jedi who serve on the Council are not chosen randomly. It is composed of those of us most fit to be burdened with the responsibilities of leadership.
Then if this travesty is what they call leadership, perhaps we need to find someone else to lead us, the one they call the revanchists. At least he has the right idea what needs to be done. Called the revanchist? Just a Revan. So the least I can do is attend revanchists' rally.
I just hope you don't do something you'll regret.
So alright, this is good because it's not only fighting physically, but it's also a clash of ideas, of philosophies. This is good, that's what fighting should be about. That's alright. And it's the exposition. I didn't have to pick one option that's, well, one dialogue out of two that are the same anyway. But it's the agency is taken away from us and we can see somebody else's story. The mod shines as a movie more than giving you options for interactions, I guess. Though I liked the flashback to the Revan's capital ship, that was actually quite alright, I guess.
While the Jedi Council preached patience, there were many among our order who were eager for us to join the battle. Two young knights in particular demanded immediate action, Revan and Malak.
Jedi Master Dorak said that. So there it is. Revan, Malak, and some guy from the Republic. We're already dark side, look at this. It's of course dependent on what we've done. This is our character model with all its flaws. Which isn't the best because they've got a separate model for Malak. Which isn't dark side, pale, and without the jaw. So they should have placed Revan as more of a paragon still. Jedi Knights of there we go. That's gonna hardly be the thing, like a difference. Jedi Knights of Dantooine, I have called upon you to aid the Galactic Republic in its time of great need. Or, fellow Jedi, I have come here today to speak to you of a most serious matter. The Galactic Republic has called upon you. Also, with them discussing the whole thing of going to war or not, of course the uncle is Solomon right now. Not that it would have changed at any point. He is still Telana's uncle. she talks about this time needing to go to war, and Republic needing Jedi. I think Kreia as well talks about how Jedi are the heart of the Republic, and the Republic is the shell to protect the heart. So Jedi need to be protected by the Republic, apparently, but also the heart should pump its lifeblood to the shell to maintain it. So Jedi should step up to help with the war to defend the Republic, as Mandalorians come with aggression, I guess. In addition, these Jedi Masters, I don't know if they've lived 3,000 years, 300 years, 500 years, 150 years, how old they are, other than maybe we can assume Master Vrook, I think it is, the Yoda one, the Grogu. He's the oldest, because they seem to be living for quite a while. They're smaller, so they live slower, right? Just like turtles, totally. So he might know the previous wars, but what I'm trying to say is that it seems like the Masters in the new Masters, living to see another war, or maybe not even having seen the previous one, are not good enough for this situation. The Republic needs help, because once Mandalorians go through the Republic, the Jedi will be next, because Mandalorians want the challenge, so you will end up fighting one way or another. And if you won't help, if you won't join in now, you won't win against the Mandalorians. They might wipe you out, essentially. Mines, shotguns, just blaster fire, but massive numbers of that. Orbital bombardments. You might not be good enough to stop orbital bombardments with your force powers. So it's time for you to join in, seemingly. That's what all this scene is about. But yeah, like I say, they might not know, if they're not old enough, they might not know about the war. They're not qualified to lead in times of war. They've never faced war. And this is a situation they're not prepared for. So there might actually might be a need for some change of management. You know, give a little bit of executive powers to High Chancellor and this little artist, the little painter from a neighboring nation. And seems like that would kickstart things. So these lines, basically the same. I can't even tell you which one would be the more evil, other than the second one should be more evil because it's on the bottom. Has called upon you. Either. Let's go with second, I don't know. Look at this scene, look at all these NPCs, because they know they've got the computing power to put them up in here. Though these are lesser NPCs, the less modeled, detailed ones, the background characters. Here we've got the two characters, here we've got some more important people. But yeah, put up the crowd, that's good. And here, again, not even an illusion of choice. We need to speak, but to speak we need to choose a dialogue option, and there's only one. So click it, motherfucker. We can't have this character be not voiced. You have to voice yourself. And this is where it falls flat. It has to result in one thing. Even that flashback on Revan's flagship was more varied. Gave options. There was character drama. Actually, you could have let the guy go. You could have made the guy stay. You could have sent out. I don't know, like a unit to investigate. You could have held back. You could have punished a guy for floundering your surprise element of surprise. You could have interacted with characters, not with the ultimate outcome. What are you interacting here with? Malak? Yourself? The NPCs that will just listen to you and join you anyway? Shadow? Telana? This is what it should have been about. Shadow and Telana. You could have been acting as Shadow. You could have been acting as Revan to Telana to convince her or not. And then Shadow could be reacting to what has actually happened, what you've said in this flashback. Or maybe that was too complex technically, so I don't know. But that would have been better, definitely, and I don't think that would have been impossible to make. You, my friends, have answered that call. There is even crowd cheering, great. Well, look at this line and look at this one. The Mandalorian threat has grown beyond the Republic's ability to control. No longer are these enemies the poorly equipped, disorganized rabble of old. They are now a very real threat to galactic peace and stability. Or, the fires of Mandalorian wars are spreading. Every passing day heralds a new wave of tragedy, each deepening an already grave wound inflicted upon the Galactic Republic. These are like two different things tackling completely different things. And also they don't matter. So I don't know if I want to address people with metaphor, with factual statements actually about them being better armed, organized, strategic, and threatening, or just talk about this metaphor. I guess I've got the option to either put it in nice words and metaphors for the rabble, essentially. They're not rabble, they're the best of the best, they're the Jedi, the paragons of virtues. Or actually talk numbers, so I'm the kind of guy who would actually talk numbers, so they're no longer disorganized, they're no longer unarmed. I have no doubts that each of you have heard tales of the horrors inflicted upon the peoples of the Outer Rim by the Mandalorians. The innocent people of the Outer Rim are being purged from existence by Mandalorian tyranny. That's putting it mildly. I like the phrasing. Yeah, they're talking. Yeah, because they heard me talking. Totally. Being purged from existence by Mandalorian tyranny. They're not tyrants. They're just fighters. They're just destroying everything that stands in their way of conquest, in their way for conquest. Tyranny and purged. That'll be also more emotional. On Sirocco, where entire cities were wiped off the face of the planet by nuclear weapons. On Onderon, you could say all of those, and we need to pick one. Again, it's not even picking between metaphors and cold hard facts. On Onderon, where the Mandalorians swarmed the great walled city of Isis, or ISIS. Fuck yeah, ISIS niggas. Leaving a once proud city in ruins. On Golgotha 7, Golgotha? Like really, in Star Wars? Where many of the native cities were burned to cinders and the fleeing populace hunted down for sport like Kinrath. Right, which one would hit them the hardest? Entire cities was wiped off the face of the planet by nuclear weapons. On Golgotha 7, where many of the native cities were burned to cinders, just like the first one, so... When Mandalorians swarmed the great walled city of Isis, leaving a once proud city in ruins. That's special, well, you know... People would react, like usual, in all the montages in... movies and scenes like that. Oh no, the Paris has fallen, look at the Eiffel Tower. Oh no, England has fallen, look at the fucking... What was it? What's the Ferris wheel? And the Big Ben and the Parliament building. Oh no, look at the USA. USA has fallen, look at the White House. Oh no, the... something in Middle East has fallen, look at the Taj Mahal being destroyed. Look at the... some temple in Japan or China, something like that. I don't know geography and landmarks. Also movie producers don't know. Look at Italy. The great Colosseum has fallen again, essentially. It's even in more disrepair than previously. So that's the approach here. The famous city of Isis has fallen, as opposed to entire cities nuked, or cities nuked and their population hunted. Who gives a fuck about some unknown city and population? Have you got a name? Have you got a landmark? Is it famous for cheese? I'm gonna go with Golgotha, because I'm sure that's not Star Wars at all. And also, more distraction than a famous place. That's more rational. Look at her being less polygon. Look at her. Look at all of them being copies. You know, big crowd, but maybe don't show them from the front. This is Basil Ashan's mother. I'm pretty sure. On Taris, where a Mandalorian occupation has driven a once prosperous city to the brink of total collapse. On Iridonia, where basilisk war droids rained down from the sky like meteors, leaving a wave of destruction and death in their wake. On Navarro, where a civilization's entire cultural heritage was destroyed, replaced with Mandalorian warforges. Again, a famous city, some war, entire civilization. I'm gonna go for 3. Again, not that it really matters, but pick your poison, however you want to be perceived. Real roleplay. This isn't very varied. It could have been more varied, but at least it gives you an opportunity to roleplay. It's not too bad. And of course, KotOR. Yes, the rumors are unfortunately true. The Mandalorians have brought the entire KotOR species to the brink of extinction. Juhani, that's them. There are people under insanity already. Even Shadow, look at her. Look at Greta Thunberg being influenced by the news of all these events. Although terrible, these atrocities serve merely as a taste of what is to come should the Mandalorians be victorious. And do not doubt, my fellow Jedi, that should we maintain this stance of inaction, they will be victorious. Or the near extinction of the KotOR peoples. It should be people, even though, you know, maybe different culture like different countries, but we're talking about an entire KotOR species apparently, I think. Serve to exhibit what lengths the Mandalorians will go to. Mandalorians will go to force. No, it should be go to force, because it's a phrase. Again, both are fucked up. The near extinction of the KotOR peoples. The near extinction of the KotOR people served to exhibit what lengths the Mandalorians will go to force their destructive ideology upon the peoples of this galaxy, and to achieve a total and lasting supremacy. I don't know if Revan back in the day already here knew about Mandalorian culture, that they're out here just for conquest, just for the challenge, just for the battle, just looking for a worthy opponent, win or lose, victory or defeat, just to give us the chance to practice what we've trained for our whole lives, a war. So they will taunt us, and I think I will use my meta knowledge, fuck it, because who's gonna say I can't? Taste to what is to come, because they will be trolling us, the Republic and the Jedi, by murdering the civilians until the best step up to fight them back, so that they can have the best fight. The Republic needs our help. The peoples of Outer Rim need our help. If we continue to deny them the support they gravely need, we will have failed them, but more importantly, we will have failed ourselves. Or how much longer can the Jedi Order maintain this stance of inaction when the consequences of a Republic defeat grow ever graver by the day? Continue deny support, have failed them. I'm gonna go with 2, with the talk of Jedi being the heart of the Republic and the Republic being the shield to protect the Jedi. Inaction when the consequences of a Republic defeat grow ever graver by the day. We as Jedi can be inactive, passive, neutral, not join the war, and then Republic will fall, and then we'll join the war anyway, and then we're gonna get killed. And I think, like what was it? Rocket said, no. Yeah, well, Rocket said, why do you care? And Star-Lord replied with, because I'm the idiot who lives in it. So yeah, I'm the idiot who lives in the Republic. If they die, I'll have lower chances of winning. It's time to join now when we've got some numerical advantage at least. The second one, ever graver by the day. You must, each of you, ask yourselves, if it's each of you should ask yourself, because then he's addressing everyone directly, singularly, I think. What has become of the Jedi Order when it abandons its allies in their time of great need? Allies, see, that supports what I said. And that notion, more like. I'm not gonna claim that this is some original thought here. Not this one, not this one. I'm of great need. What has become of the Jedi Order when it allows the Outer Rim to be conquered? And what has become of the Jedi Order when it allows the Mandalorians to butcher the peoples of the Outer Rim without restraint? The answer is simple. It is no longer the Jedi... The answer is simple. It is no longer the Jedi Order that, for 1,000 generations, has proudly served as a guardian of peace and justice. Well, it's more of safety here than peace and justice. It's war is not necessarily unjust. On one side, at least, you'd think. And so the burden falls to we. And so the burden falls to we, the revanchists, to do what our Jedi Council will not. We must join with the Republic Brethren and defeat the Mandalorian aggressors once and for all. That's weird that he, Revan, would immediately step up to call the whole movement revanchists, or of course revanchists. Like, he already named all the traitors to the Jedi Order, all the Jedi who would abandon the Jedi to go to war. They already named them after himself. Very selfless, very very leadership-like, very non-selfish, a guy that would fucking hell, very non-selfish, a guy that you would like to follow to war. That he won't put himself before you by naming the whole movement after himself. How can you disregard the Council's decisions like that? It is because of their wisdom, it is because of their guidance, that the Jedi Order is what it is. Yes, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is, more like that. It's not what it is. It's not what it is. You think it is what it's not. It is what it is, but it's not what you think it is the point. They're not good enough if they won't join the war. So we can address a guy. That could have been, again, a point where you could address a character rather, to try to convince them or fail to convince them, and the game fails because you didn't roleplay right. It cannot be disputed that their decision to stay out of the war is one that will bring the lasting security to the Jedi Order, yet at a cost of the galaxy around them. That's not true, as I've outlined up until this point. The Council acts to preserve the Jedi Order, yet a Jedi Order that can stand by and do nothing whilst innocents are being slaughtered is not a Jedi Order that is worth preserving. That's specifically, that's exactly the sentiment that I've expressed. Can stand by nothing but innocents. Yeah, that was the sentiment, in a sense of like what Revan would say, I guess. But I don't know. Well, what Revan would say. I'm kind of a dark side, I don't know if you've noticed. So, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Fuck the Jedi anyway, I was Sith at heart from the beginning. Always must the Jedi Order serve the people, and if it is the decision of the Council to no longer uphold that commitment, then that Council no longer acts in the best interest of the Jedi Order. The Republic is faltering, its people disillusioned. We, the Jedi Order, must so lead by example and revitalize a failing war effort through our leadership and commitment to victory. Yeah, let's put ourselves above the Republic so that they know that they're bitches and we're the badass fucking powerful mages of space that can whack them if we just so choose. I have traveled this galaxy and have seen the places ravaged by the Mandalorian war machine with my own eyes. Now I have returned. I call upon you, all fellow Jedi. I call upon you to do what, as a Jedi, is in your nature to do. The right thing. Who of you will Who of you will recommit yourselves? Again, should be yourself. Because who of you? Who, one singular, so we are addressing again each, not all, at once. I think. Who of you will recommit yourselves to the defense of the weak from the tyranny and oppression that our council has chosen to ignore? Who of you will join me? Come, my fellow Jedi. We shall know no boundaries. We shall show no hesitation. We shall fight the Mandalorians with all our strength and push them back to whence they came. Commit yourselves to the revanchists, or revanchists. I really have no strong idea. Well, should be revenge. I'm gonna, from now on, I will try to stick to revanchists, because maybe it's Greek, but if you wanted a K, just spell it with a fucking K. And we shall win. The audacity. The audacity of this bitch. I've heard you speak revanchist, and your words have cut deeper than any blade could ever reach. I want to leave this place. I want to join with you. I want to wage war, which shall save others. What is your name, Jedi? As you yourself once said, it is not who I am that is important. It is my message. I want to join you because, like you, I see what the Jedi Council cannot. The galaxy needs saving. And then something. Within the culture of my adopted people, it is said that to know one truly, you must first face them on the field of battle. Come, revanchist. Fight, I guess. Bitch, listen. What am I? Jedi Consular? I'm me. I'm fuck off strong. And I made you specifically so that you'll fail against my attacks. So you will die. But to have a quick glance on the texts, things that I might have missed for closure. Oh, interestingly, Telana is also marked as Matilda in the log. And that's enough for today. Thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully we will see each other in something I play for you for free. In the meantime, of course, interact with this video and every other video on my channel, preferably by watching, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And if you don't like the content, it's entirely your fault.